Brian Mormont returns home to Bear Island. When he left, it could be called no more than a hunting lodge. Now he is anxious to see how it has changed. It feels like a lifetime since he became ill and set sail for Essos to find a cure. His wife Camilla and most of his children are still in Essos. However, his youngest daughter, Eveline, awaits his return at Bear Island. Ryan takes in the sight of Bear Island while waiting for a ship to take him across the narrow strait. As the ship draws closer to shore, Mormont Keep emerges from the haze. Finally, I jump off the ship and land on the sandy shore. That feeling when you return from a long trip comes to me. The air does not quite smell the same as I remember. Nonetheless, a feeling of comfort and safety washes over me. I'm home. Drifting thoughts wander towards my father, Jaor, and my dead brother, Jorah. My brother died when Winterfell's godswood was burned by religious zealots of the Seven. The wildfire destroyed the godswood and spread quickly through the keep. Jorah did not escape. Terror and horror, endorsed by a king who now sits upon the Iron Throne. My father, Jaor, driven mad with grief and anger, traveled north of the Wall after dueling Lord Paramount Jory Stark. Lord Stark had surrendered to the man who had given his blessing to the use of wildfire to destroy Winterfell. An attack that took the life of my brother and thousands of other Northerners. A wedge is now driven between Mormont and Stark. My heart breaks at the loss and deception, the cruelty and evil now ruling Westeros with absolute authority feels distant here, but not far enough for a dragon. I look over the regrown forest, cut down while I and a regiment of townsfolk did what we could to defend Bear Island from a dragon attack. A dragon that looked very similar to the king's. It was ages ago, but the memory still lingers as a reminder of what a single dragon can do. I stagger as the memory washes over me. It takes over my vision. Mormont Keep in flames. Ancient timber fighting the flames, drawing upon a magic deep within. Still, it burned. But the people of Bear Island rallied. Together we cleared the forest to prevent the fire spreading to the village. Then we formed water brigades to douse the fire. Smoke from that fire caused an illness deep within me. Now, years later, I return. I am Ryan Mormont, heir to House Mormont. I am a proud Northman, and Northmen remember. Here, on Bear Island, we Mormonts stand to defend against the dark threats that linger beyond the wall. My family's duty and commitment conflict with our Lord's broken oaths. Will we ever put our faith in the Starks again? Welcome, everyone. This is Dhenier. I have completed a build of Mormont Keep on Bear Island for the Westeros RP Server Season 2. This will be the set for my family's Mormont RP. Currently it is undecorated, giving a tour now because it's easier to see build details later. This build is all my own, and I built it in creative mode during the preseason build week. I used images from the show for inspiration. It was a struggle to do the drum towers justice. Those are the two big low towers that are shown there. But I think they are an improvement from my last build of Mormont Keep. The game is ARK Survival Evolved. The map is the known world. Main mods used are Castles, Keeps, and Forts Remastered, CKFR, by ExileAcid, and the Atlas and Core Arkitect Structures mods by Gimilkhad. I'm going to start with just an overview of the layout. Looking at it from up above, that's the general layout of it. There's 8 people in the family, plus we have a group of other PvPers who plan to join us here. So I've made extra rooms for everybody to be able to live. This is the entryway. Defenses were taken into hand because this is a PvP server. So while there are RP rules to follow, you still have to make the build defensible. This is the main courtyard. This is the workshop here. This is actually a second gate, but since I didn't need it to access this part of the island, I just put a stables here. So this big building there is a stable. Any attackers would come through the entry gate, and then they would travel up this hill, and then through this passageway up to the throne room. And the throne room is just the objective for conquering the keep. And this is the throne room. This is the one of those drum towers I was mentioning. This is the top of that. This is the inner courtyard, and it's got a lake with fish in it, which is good. What I've done here is I made 2 towers where scorpions can be placed for shooting at dragons. We have to defend against more than just actual dragons from the Crownlands. We also have to defend against dragons from the north. And the north is right over there. The wall is that direction. And we've got a pretty good view of the north over there. This is the Maester's Tower. And I'm going to show off a little bit of this design. I put these little turrets square on the edges. And then inside, you can see it's quite a detailed little room in here. It's got a staircase that comes up. I tried to put the Atlas oak where I could inside to give people color. Just because if all you see is this everywhere you go, it gets kind of boring, kind of straining. So I tried to give the luxury of nice woods on the interiors, while on the outside it looks weathered and beaten. I always like to make as much of the interior as usable as possible. So this might be the Maester's sleeping quarters and research area. And then down below, going down this stairway, this might be the Maester's conclave room for meetings. And then down below here would be his place for doing medical RP. Coming out this way, we have the Ravenry. So I separated the Ravenry from the Maester's Tower. You'll see these towers places too. These are just lookout towers. But the Ravenry, let's go in up here. You can see it's just a big open space where people will be able to sit down and write ravens or receive ravens. You can see some of the admins have been through to check the place out. I think that's why the doors didn't close. This is the main tower for the family. So there's 8 members of our family, so I tried to make it as big as I could, but still keep to the design that I've seen from images. And again, trying to keep with that luxury feeling once you're on the inside. This is a grand staircase. A lot of pillar work went into this. Fortunately, the ASE structures mods and core mods make snapping pillars pretty easy. I put several big rooms for family members. This is not like my build for Winterfell, where I tried to make rooms interesting. Here, I just tried to fit them where I could, to make sure that we had enough rooms for everyone. And you can see I used Villager, mixed that in here. There's a little passageway through to another room here. And the design theme is basically the core wooden windows with cellular up at the top, accentuating it, and then of course keep down below. The first time I did this build, I didn't have this separate windows, but I decided it looked better with them separate. So the lower part of the window is separate from the upper part of the window. I also used the log almost everywhere, like the full log version, instead of paned. I like the paned look, but sometimes it is hard to get everything to mix together. And you can see I used it in some places for the supports. Down here is probably going to be a dining hall, just because that's how we had it last season, and it worked out pretty well. Going this way is the guest tower. And this is where I was planning the Boltons to live. They're related to us by marriage. My wife, Carmilla, in this RP is a Bolton. And you can see there's several floors to it. Again, trying to use as much space as possible and give an interesting set for people to explore and just learn about. There's quite a few rooms in here. Actually, there's more rooms in here than I remember. But they have a big family, so if they ever need to come and visit, they can stay here. Or if we have somebody else come and visit, they can stay there. This ledge is for just a decoration. Usually they put a statue or something there. Coming down through here is a big fire pit. So I imagine a lot of people just coming out here and hanging out over the fire pit. And just to give a view of that, you can see those 3 towers. And well, 2 towers and then the fire pit. This is the bridge that crosses over. And this is that big, huge waterfall that you could see in the distance. This is a really nice map to build Winterfell and Mormont Keep on, but specifically Mormont Keep because it's got this great waterfall. Now through here is what I call the bear pit. I don't know if there's actually anything like that in lore, but I know the people in this group want to PvP and spar, so I thought this would make a good room for that. So there can be an armory over here for repairs and then just sparring each other. Up above is the barracks. So I put rooms here for knights or fighters. Just try to make them simple rooms, not too big, but also close to the sparring. And I also made this little attic space up here and added 2 interesting rooms up here. So 2 people could live up in this space and have pretty interesting rooms if they don't mind the roofs coming through. I didn't do meshing on this because I already spent, I think, 4 days on this build, and I didn't want to raise this up once I discovered it. So I just left it the way it is. Most people aren't going to mind it. And then going up through here, this is the other drum tower, by the way, where that bear pit is. This is just another view of it. Here's another lookout tower. I started designing these lookout towers on Aramore. I need to finish this one. And I really like being able to use Atlas to create these. And I tried to make each one a little bit different, just so it didn't look so cookie cutter. They have some of the same elements, though. This right here is an apartment, so somebody could have this room. It's got stairway access to the main ramparts, and then this is the bridge that goes across the main courtyard. Through here, this is just all the intricate rooms and areas for defending the causeway, I guess. Through here is the council room. We usually like to have a council room for talking about wars and plans. This building took me a while, and it's in different phases. Like I figured things out, new building techniques out as I was doing it, and really started using the eaves to supplement the lengths of these steep roofs, because I really wanted this sunken look for the windows. Like the eaves are down right over the windows, so I got that using the eaves. In fact, let me. Yeah, there you go. This will let me know what I did in the future. So that is a single steep roof piece, square roof piece, and then to get this look right here, I used an eave. That's a steep eave, and that's just meshed in there. And then there's the steep roof there, and then an eave here, and then I did the same there, and that's how I got that look. I myself hadn't done something like that before on a build, so I was happy to get that done. This is the gatehouse. You can see it's all detailed on the inside. It's just the main gatehouse. It has this frontier look or theme because if you see pictures of Mormont Keep, you'll see that it's pretty much a big, huge wooden castle on top of a bunch of gray stones. So I didn't want to use field stone this season. I wanted to use actual stone, so I dyed all of this so there's all the same color. This is the workshop. Let's just run in here really fast so you can see the layout. Try to make this really big because we're way out here and we need to make sure we had the stocks for everything. And it's all connected to the ramparts, and all of the walls. Like every single thing you see, you can reach. I'm not going to worry about that because that's probably just something I can't do anything about. Some of the CKF walls don't line up perfectly, but usually you just ignore them. This one I kind of like because you can kind of see this was originally designed as another entrance to defend against, and then I switched it up, which is something that would happen naturally. People repurpose different parts. So now we've got this nice stables, which we used a lot last season, so we needed one. All right. I think I've shown all of the parts of the build I wanted to show. You You can see it's getting dark. And I'm just going to draw out, leave this as the final shot of it. I hope you all enjoyed the tour and hope to see you in this next season.